Have you ever wondered how deep the rabbit hole of global drug trade goes? It's a vast, intricate web that spans continents, involving numerous players. This isn't just a simple game of chess. It's a high-stakes operation that affects countries and people worldwide. At the heart of this trade, you'll find Latin American countries like Ecuador, Colombia, and Bolivia. These nations are often seen as the epicenters of production, their geographical location and climate providing the perfect conditions for the cultivation of coca, the raw material for cocaine. Ecuador, for example, has become a significant transit hub for the cocaine trade. While not a major producer itself, it serves as a strategic jump-off point for shipments destined for the US and Europe. The port terminal of Guayaquil in Ecuador has seen a dramatic increase in drug seizures, nearly doubling within a year. Colombia, on the other hand, is notorious as one of the largest producers of cocaine, with a significant portion of its production capacity feeding into the global drug trade. It's not just about the production, though. The country also grapples with the violence and corruption that often accompany this illicit trade. Then there's Bolivia, another key player in the production of cocaine. The country recently reported its largest ever cocaine seizure, a testament to the scale of operations that continue to run despite efforts to curb the trade. But the story doesn't end in Latin America. The drugs have to go somewhere, right? That's where the US and Europe come in. They're the primary destination for these illicit shipments, fueling a multi-billion-dollar market that shows no signs of slowing down. And let's not forget about the role of Mexico's infamous cartels, such as the Sinaloa cartel and Jalisco New Generation cartel. Their presence in countries like Ecuador has led to a spike in violence, reminiscent of Mexico's darkest days in the drug war. The global drug trade is not just about the drugs. It's a web of violence, corruption, and socio-economic issues that affect countries worldwide. This intricate network is a testament to the far-reaching effects of the drug trade, highlighting the urgent need for comprehensive solutions. Did you know Ecuador is not a major producer of cocaine but a key transit hub? Let's delve into this lesser-known facet of the international drug trade. Ecuador, while not a major producer of cocaine, plays a significant role in the drug trafficking industry. It serves as a critical transit point for narcotics, particularly cocaine, from South America. Its geographical position makes it a preferred destination for drug cartels to smuggle their contraband to the US and Europe. In recent times, Ecuador has been the site of some noteworthy drug seizures. For instance, in 2023, police in Ecuador intercepted almost 9 tons of cocaine hidden in a shipping container of bananas destined for Belgium. This haul was estimated to be worth a staggering $330 million in Europe. Just a few months prior, the National Police of Ecuador made another record-breaking seizure. They discovered nearly 10 tons of cocaine concealed behind a fake wall in the coastal city of Guayaquil. This haul, valued at around $500 million, underlines Ecuador's role as a major transshipment point for narcotics from South America. These recent seizures are not isolated incidents, but rather indicative of a larger trend. Over the past 2 months, Ecuadorian authorities have seized almost 20 tons of cocaine in Guayaquil alone. This accounts for roughly 10% of the annual production capacity of Colombia, Peru, and Bolivia combined. The increasing frequency of these seizures in Ecuador may be attributed to a number of factors. It could be due to a changing political administration disrupting corrupt networks, or simply a case of fortunate timing. Regardless, these significant seizures underline Ecuador's importance as a key jump-off point for drug shipments to the US and Europe. Ecuador's role in the drug trade is not limited to being a transit hub. The country is also known for its service providers, individuals or groups hired by drug trafficking organizations to smuggle shipments. This suggests a possible connection between the trafficking groups involved in these recent seizures. These significant seizures in Ecuador signal a shift in the global drug trade, as authorities intensify their efforts to curb this illicit activity. How is Europe coping with the rising tide of the illegal drug trade, you may ask? The situation, unfortunately, is not as under control as one might hope. Europe has been grappling with a daunting surge in cocaine traffic from Latin America, a trend that has led to increased profits for criminal networks and an alarming rise in violence. The European Union Agency for Law Enforcement Cooperation, or Europol, has reported that 40% of criminal networks within the EU are involved in the drug trade, making it the largest criminal business in the continent. These networks are trafficking unprecedented quantities of cocaine, generating multi-billion euro profits that are destabilizing societies and economies. Now let's delve into the logistics of this illicit trade. The ports of Antwerp in Belgium and Rotterdam in the Netherlands have become particularly attractive to drug smugglers. Their efficiency and high container volumes make them prime locations for the concealment and transport of illegal substances. It is in these bustling ports where tons of cocaine, hidden in seemingly innocent shipments like bananas or timber, embark on their illicit journey across Europe. Regrettably, authorities are struggling to keep pace with the traffickers. In 2018, a record high 181 metric tons of cocaine were seized across the EU. However, this figure represents only a fraction of the total amount smuggled into the continent. European authorities estimate that they are only catching between 10 to 20% of the total amount of cocaine smuggled into Europe. This clandestine trade does not only bring drugs into the continent, but also a wave of violence, including killings, shootings, bombings, and kidnappings. The high stakes and astronomical profits associated with the drug trade have fueled a ruthless underworld where power is enforced through fear and brutality. The EU's drug problem is a ticking time bomb, with legitimate companies at risk of being used for illegal activities, including money laundering. The impact of this illicit trade is far-reaching, affecting not only those who use the drugs, but also the very fabric of our societies. As the wave of cocaine continues to surge, one can only hope that Europe will be able to stem the tide before it's too late. Bolivia recently reported its largest ever cocaine seizure. But what does this mean for the global drug trade? This question leads us into the heart of the matter, revealing the scale and tactics of drug trafficking operations. In a monumental operation, Bolivian authorities intercepted more than 8 tons of cocaine. This colossal amount was ingeniously hidden within a substantial timber shipment. The audacity of such an operation is a testament to the ingenuity and boldness of these illicit networks. But it also speaks to the relentless efforts of law enforcement agencies to dismantle these operations. This massive haul wasn't destined to stay within Bolivia's borders. The apparent destination of this mountain of cocaine was the Netherlands. This European nation has seen a sharp increase in drug seizures in recent years, reflecting the growing demand for narcotics in Europe. The implications of this seizure are significant, not just for Bolivia, but for the global drug trade and the destination countries. For Bolivia, this seizure represents a victory in its ongoing battle against drug trafficking. It sends a clear message to the underworld that the Bolivian authorities are committed to disrupting their operations. On a global scale, this seizure underlines the sheer magnitude of the illicit drug trade. It offers a stark reminder of the relentless efforts of authorities worldwide to combat this industry. Yet, it also highlights the persistent challenge faced by these agencies as traffickers continue to find innovative ways to smuggle drugs across borders. In the destination countries like the Netherlands, this seizure underscores the urgency to tackle the growing demand for narcotics. It emphasizes the need for comprehensive strategies that not only focus on law enforcement, but also on prevention, treatment, and harm reduction. This record-breaking seizure in Bolivia is a stark reminder of the relentless efforts of the authorities to disrupt the global drug trade. But it also reminds us of the scale and complexity of this illicit industry. As we continue to navigate this complex issue, it's clear that a multifaceted approach involving cooperation between nations is pivotal to making significant strides in the fight against the global drug trade.